Oh, hello, viewers of the internet. I'm Creeper Fish Sticks with the Salamander King, and joining us today we have Speedy Gamer on the Splat Chat.
Yeah.
Much, much needed continuation.
Wait a
Even though
minute.
that's what the last one was called.
Wait a minute. Like, literally, the stream can't hear you at all, Fish.
What?
No, not
That's
at all.
bullcrap.
Like,
That's true.
Salman is supposed to get the desktop audio and then just
I do have
get
the
that on
desktop.
there.
The desktop audio's on.
Send
So,
me a
Can you
send
Can you
me
hear
a
yourself
screenshot
though?
though. Huh?
Can you hear yourself?
I don't know. Let me try. Okay. Test, and test. All right. I'll be back.
how delayed is it?
I don't know.
All right. Never mind. It like had like I can hear my voice.
Okay.
Well, then why can't you guys hear me? Why can't
You,
you stream
you
hear
know
me?
what? Actually, I can also hear your voice on stream too.
Oh,
So it's all good.
Okay.
so
So
that was like this bullcrap.
yes. So now, not to keep all the viewers at home waiting some more, but
Oh snap!
welcome to Splat Chat. I'm the Salamander King. We got Creeper Fish Sticks. You know, the regular guys, and then we have another guy, Speedy Gamer. If it sounds weird from my side, it's because I'm eating right now because I'm hungry.
Oh my gosh!
This is
Yeah.
obviously this is the Splat Chat. This is where we discuss Splatoon. Believe it or not, I know, crazy to think. And yeah, basically that's it. Fish, if you have
Cool.
a topic, start us off.
Topic. Alright. Give me a moment. I hate to keep y'all waiting. Specials.
Specials,
Just
okay.
specials. Like how they evolved from version to version and what is the best special within version 1.3. I believe it is.
Okay, so basically, pre version 1.3, you had the Ink Armor and the Inkjet being easily the best specials, and then post 1.3, they got heavily nerfed, but
And then
their main nerf,
Splashdown. Oh, go on.
their main nerfs, you had Inkjet get a reduce in the damage from the Inkjet exhaust, which was a much needed nerf in my opinion, because it was kind of, as it was kind of a panic button, where most of the weapons that would like advance on you, which were obviously short range, fast firing, fast killing, you know, easily painting weapons. So all those weapons, you would press your inkjet as soon as they rush you, and your like exhaust would do tons of damage to them. So you get like like barely damage, like 30% damage indirect on someone underneath you, and they would die instantly because of all the exhaust damage. So it was kind of like Kraken in that sort of sense. So they nerfed that a lot. Now it takes like 2 seconds to kill. That is from exhaust. Ink armor now only protects you for 80 points or 80% health. So if you get shot by like a splat charger, which I don't know does 180 damage, I believe, you will tank 80 of that, but you will still take 100, so you'll still die even if you have ink armor, you know, activated. So there's that. I believe also the time it takes from when you shoot when your first shot hits, which is when ink armor is supposed to disappear. Apparently, in the original version of the game, it had an ending lag there goes my spoon. An ending leg where you'd shoot it, and it would actually take a couple of frames for it to actually like disappear, and it would kind of screw over some weapons, such as the jet, the best weapon, obviously. Um, it would screw over a lot of slow killing weapons, where it would shoot the ink armor, and then the ink armor wouldn't disappear by the time the other shot came out. So it was like you'd have to shoot it twice to get rid of one ink armor, whereas most weapons would only shoot it once. So they pretty much made it instantaneous now. You shoot someone, the ink armor is gone. There's no delay. Let's see. Baller. I'll get to Baller later. Splashdown got a huge damage buff. I mean, it's not. You wouldn't think it's huge. It was only 5 points at the very outer edges of the damage radius, but it actually is huge. And now almost every weapon with Splashdown is top tier pretty much, the exception of GooTuber because it's a GooTuber. Yep. Any input on those so far?
I think we could add the fact that the original blaster pairs really, really well with the new Splashdown.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little later. Like how the weapons have changed now.
Sure.
But anything about like the specials in general, like.
Okay.
Not
really, no.
So Bubble Blower didn't get changed at all, mainly because it's only on 3 weapons. I'm sorry. I don't consider the Tenebrella a weapon as of this moment. I consider it garbage.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's see. What else? Oh yes, the Inkstorm, believe it or not, got a buff. Now it inks 17% more turf, has a 17% wider radius, so that's helpful to some extent without being game breaking. But then we get to the part where it is game breaking. They buffed the Baller a lot. Now it has a it's like similar to the Splashdown buff, where they like, I don't know. Actually, I do know. I know exactly. They buffed the damage and they buffed the blast radius by a lot. So now you'll be like a zone away from someone almost, and you'll take damage. Sorry. I'm just trying to eat successfully. And that right now, that makes every weapon with the Baller special instantly top tier, including the arrow spray, the gold arrow spray, that is, a weapon that up until now was absolute. It was so bottom tier, it was like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like the barrel's the tier list. It was like scraping the bottom, It was horrible. But now since it charges Baller so fast, people are getting 20 Ballers in a game with it, and they're just like, you can't stop it now. So that's a thing. Any other input on that?
Baller's broken.
Well, yes, we know that.
Didn't take 3 teenage boys to figure that one out.
Excuse me, I'm a child. I was a
5
years old.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay, so.
Go on, I guess.
Sorry, I'm chewing right now.
Okay.
Okay, Fish, you talk about, while I finish eating this rice, you talk about how the new specials pair with the weapons and how different weapons have become good and bad and whatnot.
Okay, so there's 2 weapons that I'm 100% sure of work really well with Splashdown. The Vanilla Blaster and the Vanilla Splatter Shot. What you have to do is you activate your Splashdown, like relatively close to someone, and because it goes up into the air so fast and then comes down faster too, they'll barely have time to react, so you'll most likely get the kill. But in the event that you don't get the kill, with the Vanilla Blaster, you shoot in their general direction because the minimum chip damage for Splashdown is 50, and the minimum chip damage for Blaster is also conveniently 50, so you'll get the kill if you aim it somewhat correctly. But we all know that blasters don't need much aim.
Good pro deco.
Catch my breath.
And I'm a blaster main myself. I can actually support this.
Oh,
All right.
we forgot in the
And
beginning. We forgot to explain where everyone came from. Like, okay, let me.
Oh, really?
oh yep, we forgot a
Redo.
proper introduction.
That
Frick.
reverse.
You saw nothing, viewers at home. I'm the Salamander King.
Wait,
I'm
saw nothing.
Yeah, we saw. You saw nothing. You heard nothing. Nothing happened. I'm the Salamander King. I made Jet Squelcher and what's that thing called? Sloshing Machine. And at this point, Rapid Pro as well, because it's just a better Jet Squelcher. As much as it pains me to say it. I've played Tenatech a lot as well. So just kind of a longer range, like a mid to long range shooters or sloshers, basically. Fish, go.
Or blaster. Okay. Well, on Creeper Fish Sticks, I mostly main the Octobrush, but then in most modes, but in Tower Control, I switch to either a blaster or the Splatter Shot. It switches between those, depending on the mood.
Fish is
Speedy
like
Man, go.
Fish is like the jack of all trades. He just plays whatever. Pretty
And
much.
somehow it works.
Sometimes it works.
But there's one weapon class I absolutely cannot use.
What
It
is
hates
it?
me.
What is it?
It's freaking. What are those things called? Splatlanes. Splatlanes. Can't use Splatlanes.
Mate.
I mean, you gotta hit up Gamer Advance for that.
Or you could hit up
Gamer
the
Advance.
coolest. The coolest. Anyway, Speedy, go.
All right, hello, I'm Speedy Gamer. Self promo YouTube channels. No, I'm kidding. No. Oh, okay. I main only the vanilla blaster. I wish I would have mained more blasters, but I'm currently maining that right now. What else?
He used to use CRB in Splatoon 1, but obviously
Used to use CRB in Splatoon 1
that isn't in Splatoon 2 right now yet, so
yet,
rip.
but like I heard rumors. Suction Bomb, Ink Storm, right?
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, that's not bad. I think, I don't know, but yeah, I'm just here. I just want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a tip, Speedy. Try out the Rapid Pro.
No.
I don't like rapid blasters.
What's wrong with you?
Anyway.
You have a legitimate problem, sir.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
no, I don't.
Stay on topic. Noise pollution. Noise pollution.
Noise pollution.
Not the noise pollution.
So anyway, where were we? Oh yes, Splashdown Blaster.
Yeah, I added Splashdown Blaster. I need to do Splatter Shot now.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Splashdown with Splatter Shot is similar, except instead of shooting, you throw your burst bomb in their general direction. And if that don't work, start shooting.
Yeah, it works a lot better for Blaster than it does for Splatter Shot, but it still applies to Splatter Shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, however, for Sploosh-O-Matic, because Sploosh has like no range. So people will run away after you splash on them, and you won't be able to even get a hit on them. So yeah. Let's talk about the 52 gal, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Oh,
Pre-patch, pre 1.3, 52 was like, it was decent. It had a bad kit for the weapon, which was 52, obviously. Duh. It had a bad kit being point sensor and baller. It just didn't fit 52 gal playstyle at all. But then now, now that with the huge baller nerf or baller buff, baller didn't get nerfed. With the huge baller buff, now people are completely ignoring the sub and just going and just ballering basically and like one-shotting people with 52 gals, pretty much. So there's that. You
Yeah.
know. Tri-Slosher. Tri-Slosher used to be top tier at everything because it inked well, it killed fast, and it was a slosher, so it had that fantastic hitbox. But with it got a nerf in the damage, lowering it from 62 to 52, and a nerf in range by 9%. So that's pretty much back to how it was in Splatoon 1, and nobody uses it anymore. So, like, I'm not complaining, but yeah.
Not to mention the
Oh yeah,
ink
the
armor
ink
nerf.
armor nerf did a lot to it as well.
Yeah.
Is there any other
Mhm.
like any other
Wait.
nerfs or buffs?
When was what's that thing called? Stingray buffed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Stingray buff. Actually, I forgot about the Stingray in general. Stingray used to shoot like a little tiny pea stream throughout the map. You know, just like if if Inklings are say 5 feet, like in terms of human size, or 1.5 meters for all you other people. So Inklings are 5 or so feet. The original Stingray had like a diameter of 2 feet. It was nothing. It was like a needle, just a random needle shooting through the stage, and it kills slowly, and it had a really small hitbox, and pretty much once you started using it, you were defenseless, immobile, and pretty much a beacon since everyone could see the laser for everyone. So it was bad, let's just say. It was dang bad. But then come 1.3, and they buffed the Stingray so that it's after a couple of seconds of shooting, actually 0.5 seconds to be exact, the radius of the laser gets huge. Like it multiplies by 5 or something. And it's enormous. I think it also has a little bit of a damage buff once it does that. So now Stingray has gone from worst special in the game to among top 3 along with Splashdown and Baller in one patch, which just shows how quickly this game changes patch to patch, because all the worst specials in 1.0 like Baller and Stingray are now some of the best. So yeah.
Oh, how I love the constantly evolving meta of Splatoon 2.
Watch there be the Luna be mad sooner or later.
I think it already is, just because it has Baller. It has Baller and it's a Luna. And it has Splat Bombs. That's 3 giant
gosh.
one-hit kill radiuses on one weapon. I'm surprised it's being used more.
Oh my gosh, is Luna going to be actually meta again?
Probably not.
No.
I don't want it to
If
be.
I was to think about it logically, I'm guessing this month we're getting another patch. By the way, I'm guessing Nintendo's gonna nerf the crap out of Baller, just because of all the complaining. However, this leads us on to our next point. Nerfs. What nerfs and what buffs do you think the game should have right now? Like I would like to start out. Pick me. First of all, Baller
Alright.
nerf. And if they don't nerf Baller, I also have another nerf for every Baller weapon. Baller nerf, either A, make the blast radius and damage, smaller. B, like, and this is the one I prefer, is, so you know how you shoot the Baller, okay? And then, like, it has 3 layers, basically. It has the top layer, you shoot the top layer enough and it bursts, bottom layer, burst. And then you shoot it enough and it's the guy dies or whatever. You know, what if if you say you take off a layer that cuts like 15% of the blast radius and damage off of the baller's explosion. Like, so the more you shoot at it and the smaller it gets, the smaller the explosion. You know,
Nintendo devs, get on it.
that would make it. I think that's probably the best plan of action, because then it wouldn't be broken, because if you are fighting the thing for 10 seconds, it's not like it's just gonna walk up in one let me grab my words again. It's not like it's just gonna roll up and like one shot you from halfway across the zone anymore, even if it's on 1% health. But but it's also not going to screw over anyone who uses the new baller now, because because the blast radius gets nerfed, even though you know uh, even though they weren't getting shot at. So it kind of works well for both parties, like the people who like the baller and the people who hate the baller. And then of course you have the ability on your shoes, object shredder. Everyone's going to be running it basically, if that actually happens, which everyone pretty much everyone pretty much does run it right now, for the very reason of fighting ballers. I know I do. And yeah, that's my plan. Any ideas from the crew?
Can't believe you left this out, so I'm gonna say it. Jet Squelcher needs a
No, I'm talking
shot
about baller
velocity.
right now. I'll get on to other things later.
Oh, baller. Fine, fine.
Don't worry, boy. I will bring up the shot velocity.
Shot velocity. Okay, I don't have anything.
Speedy?
So we're talking about baller right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
In what ways do you think they would be able to nerf baller without making it bad like it was in 1.0?
Let me think. Basically, everything you say, I completely agree what you said about the baller.
Okay. Well, that makes it easy. If they don't nerf the baller, which I don't know why they won't, but I don't know. This is Nintendo. Who knows? If they do not nerf the baller, random scream from Creeper Fish Sticks Mike.
Oh my gosh! Like
they need to take specifically the Arrow Spray, the 52, and the Luna, but pretty much all the weapons with baller in general, and just like make their special requirements, the requirements to like get the special, make them skyrocket. Because I believe right now the lowest amount of special that you need for any weapon, the lowest amount of points you need to build your special is 170. And I believe that's where the gold arrow sprays is right now. So that thing's building ballers like that thing's got a new baller every 10 seconds, at least. So here's my idea. You take the gold arrow spray and you take the 170 and you add like tons and tons to it. Like bump the arrow spray's knee I don't know why I can't talk today. Bump the arrow spray's special requirements to like 250 or something. Something massive. Tenitex got bumped to 230. Fish leaves the chat. Oh, now he's back. And he muted himself. But that's okay. Bump the Tenitex got bumped to 130 or 230, which was a lot. And especially now, I think it might need to be lowered back again to the 180, 200, somewhere around there. That it was before, now that Inkjet isn't dominating everything anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just like raise the special requirement for all baller weapons. Same thing can be said for, in my opinion, same thing can be said for splashdown weapons. Seeing as splashdown and the baller are very similar, except that the baller is like a better splashdown because it can move and it's a shield.
Yeah.
mhm.
Speaking of Splashdown, what ways do you think they should nerf Splashdown? Especially seeing as it right now it pairs well with so many weapons.
I guess I'd say similar things to what you said. Nerf the special charge on it so it takes more turf coverage to charge it, and decrease the radius and damage again.
Okay, I don't think they would need to decrease it all the way down, like to where it wasn't originally. Like that's the part I don't get. Like apparently, like I always didn't like the baller. I never liked it. I always thought the blast radius was too big. But apparently no one else thought that because they buffed the crap out of it. Same thing with Splashdown. So I don't think it's necessary since no one else but me seems, or I mean you, I guess now. But we don't count you as a person. Get out of here.
Oh.
Basically, uh, I'm just rambling. That's what I do. I ramble. Nerfing it back down, I would approve of. Back down to where they normally were. I would approve of that, but I don't think anyone else would. So, yeah. Speedy, any inputs on that?
About if Splashdown needs a nerf, or how would you nerf it?
Yeah, like how does it need one? Why it needs one?
Oh, well, that's kind of hard for me since I always use a weapon with Splashdown, and then it's extremely useful.
So what you're telling us is you sort of rely on Splashdown sometimes?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
everyone relies on Splashdown sometimes. You get rushed down with a blaster, you can't do anything unless they're at that perfect range.
I mean, probably just like almost every time I use Splashdown and then I don't get them, I always shoot them with my blaster and always get them. So probably decrease the damage, maybe to like possibly let them have a chance since I always get them.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
That's go on.
Yeah. Decrease chip damage for both the special and the main. But not by too much.
Mate. Stop. What'd you just say?
Decrease the chip damage for both the special and the main weapon.
And the main. That's the That's the purpose of blaster. Is that it blasts. Why would you? Why would you decrease the damage? Dude, you decrease the damage at all on the blaster, and it's always going to be a 3-shot kill, unless you get it direct, pretty much. Like,
Oh.
no,
Oh wait, yeah,
stop.
I just remembered that. Idiot.
Because
Oh my god, I'm so dumb.
No, the minimum blast damage on blaster is 50, so you decrease it to like 49.9, and every single blaster mate is screwed. Basically.
No, because that's the minimum chip damage.
Yeah, but still, a main component of the blaster, the main thing that separates the main blasters, so range blaster, Luna blaster, and the normal blaster, is that they always 2-shot, like always, unless you're laggy, in which God knows what will happen. That's like, in my opinion, the main difference between the main set of blasters that can get 1-shot directs and the rapid blasters which have to get 2-shot directs. So decreasing the damage down would just make it a worse rapid blaster if you kind of think about it. Oh wait, I forgot one. There's this one blaster. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called the Clash Blaster. I wouldn't
Oh
be.
my gosh.
I don't consider that a weapon.
I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't have heard about it. I rarely waste my time listening to people talk about trash as well.
Ooh.
Roasted all 6 Clash Blaster mains.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, maybe I roasted Silver though. I know Silver likes Clash Blaster for some reason. It's like what?
Well, mate, no.
Excuse me.
Uh, are
Maybe because
you stable?
it's semi-similar to Octobrush, in which it can kill fast. It can kill fast, but it's like it has a radius too, and it has short range. But so yeah, Clash Blaster exists.
Blast.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
I,
I would
I
consider Clash Blaster like a subclass of Rapid because it has to two-shot to kill. So that's where I was going with that. We'll talk about Clash Blaster a little later, unfortunately.
you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if Clash Blaster got some kind of a buff in the near
It
future.
probably will. It already did. I believe it got a ink spread buff and a little bit of a run speed buff. Because before
Oh,
you would be required to shoot like 3 shots from a clash to get a sizable enough trail of ink to swim through it without like the tips of your squid popping out occasionally. So to get like a constant trail of ink, you would always have to shoot 2 or 3 times. And now you pretty much shoot once and you're good. So there's that.
yeah. Oh, excuse me, I'm a bit tired.
There's a couple of problems with buffing Clash Blaster though. This is actually similar to uh similar thing that I'll say to a lot of the weapons that many people want buffed is that if you give it a meaningful enough buff, it pretty much becomes top tier because you give Clash Blaster like say okay, it takes 4 indirects to kill with Clash Blaster, which is ridiculous. You give it a damage buff, and if it's not enough, it'll still take 4 shots, and the damage won't even be necessary since there's no defense up in the game. So it's not like you're going to be trying to counter defense, so that's really not useful at all. But then you buff it enough so that the damage makes it a 3-shot, 3 indirects, and it's like a better Rapid Blaster to some extent, except it doesn't have any range. But I mean, it's like it would be like the Luna to the Vanilla Blaster, and seeing how good the Luna has been consistently since the first game. It's like, uh,
Uh,
just like a more short ranged, faster firing version of the main weapon that still kills in the same amount of shots. I think it's like borderline. Because right now this game is dominated. It has been since the first one, except for Chargers, which are the craziest exception I've ever even seen in a competitive meta. It's completely dominated by short-range, fast-firing, high-damaging weapons such as 10 attack and 52 gal. So like most of your fights will be really close range. So having the Clash, which has a ridiculous fire rate, giving it a 3-shot indirect kill would just be insane because you'd like you would like blast someone twice behind a wall and then you just walk around and annihilate them before they can even react to most of it. So and you wouldn't even have to aim.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Clash Blaster is odd. Actually, Clash Blaster, in my opinion, is similar to both of the Brellas, the Ink Brush, and yeah, both the Brellas and the Ink Brush, where the kit is really good, but the main weapon is horrible. Um, because you have splat bombs, which are great on any blaster, and you have Stingray, which I mean it's okay. It's the main problem with the kit is that it seems like it was designed for a weapon with longer range because a weapon like Clash Blaster has no range basically. So giving it a Stingray, which requires you to be really far back on the battlefield, like it doesn't make any sense at all. But Splat bombs are nice though, gotta say.
Hmm.
The most basic bomb in the game is one of the best.
Heck yeah. Splat bombs are
But
splat bombs are so good at
But
crowd
then
control though. Like
but then there's, that thing that we call auto bomb.
Autobomb Autobomb, like, it has its uses. It's not as useful as Splat Bomb, like in all-purpose situations, but it's more specialized to doing certain things. Like, that part in Kelp Dome, that choke, that choke point in Kelp Dome, where it's like the enemy can, when they respawn, they go to their left, and they just go straight left, and they have a little ledge that they can jump off, and then there's like that tiny gap in the wall that's just big enough for a tower to fit through, and then right at the end of that, like right uh in front of the ledge is the tower goal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That area is like sloshing machine heaven. Um, sorry to bring up sloshing machine. We'll talk more about sloshing machine in a little bit, but a sloshing machine has the perfect kit to totally abuse that area right there because it can throw auto bombs, which work stupidly well in like low mobility, high pressure areas such as that one. It can arc its shots over the tower and hit people on the other side. So there goes your splooshamatics are instantly screwed. Um, your rollers are usually screwed by that. And then it has, you know, the icing on the cake, which is the uh, the stingray, which again is a thin stream of high power, high pressure ink. So just shooting that down that little choke point and moving it around like little by little, just like sweeping it across the choke point, will kill almost everyone sitting there. So it's like wow. Uh yeah, that was that's probably the best usage for auto bombs. Another one I found is when someone is like preoccupied in a CQC fight, just chuck a random auto bomb over there, like near where your teammates and your enemies are fighting. Just chuck a random auto bomb, and usually your teammate will get like enough damage on the opponent to where either um they step in ink for a split second, they step in enemy ink for a split second, and they get just enough damage. Or okay, there's no either. There's only one situation. There's only one thing that happens here. You're okay. Two ten attacks are. Sorry, I had to cough there. Two ten attacks are fighting. Um, the one on your team gets 2 shots off on the one on the enemy team, and the enemy team gets 3, and he kills your guy. You chuck a random auto bomb, and usually the ten attack will give a few seconds to repaint the area that your teammate tried to cover to win the fight. In that time, your auto bomb will track him down and blow up, and even if he's not even close, usually the tiny amounts of chip damage from the auto bomb to the already like almost dead opponent will usually be enough to kill them, which is very nice, very very nice, in fact.
no.
Could I butt in here with one of my experiences of using auto bomb?
Okay.
All right, so this kind of works in Rainmaker more, but I guess it could also work in zones. When someone is about to burst the Rainmaker shield or cap the zone, throw an auto bomb in there to steer them away from it.
Yes, that that works to some extent, but I found at a higher level it doesn't because people have figured out if you walk close to an auto bomb and then swim away immediately, it takes too long for it to actually explode to actually kill people. So they'll just like they'll walk right through an auto bomb and it'll explode and they'll just not be anywhere near it anymore. So if anything, I think wouldn't that actually like okay, so they pop the Rainmaker shield. You throw an auto bomb at the now popped Rainmaker. Wouldn't that and he starts chasing down the dude, wouldn't that actually make him more likely to go for the Rainmaker as he's trying to escape the Autobomb? Like, you have two situations. You either retreat and possibly get taken out by an Autobomb, or you push, which was your intent in the first place, and not get taken out by an Autobomb. So it's like, I don't know. It could.
But if you push forward, you're more likely to run into an enemy.
Yes.
Cough, cough, Octobrush, and
Yes, this
get
is
taken
true.
out almost instantly.
Yes, but like still, mate. I think Autobombs actually work better for tower, just because you throw an Autobomb on the tower and everyone on the tower instantly gets off. So they stop pushing. It's like the exact opposite of what I was saying in Rainmaker. You throw one on the tower and everyone on the tower gets off immediately, which means their points aren't going up and you have a chance to take it. So yeah, that's my little rant.
All right. Okay. What else we got for this amazing Splat Chat? Speedy input? Question mark?
No, not really, actually.
Oh,
You've
that's
been
right. Okay.
pretty quiet throughout this whole thing.
I don't know what to say.
We were talking about nerfs and buffs before, am I right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we got Splashdown nerf. Oh, the Splashdown nerf. I actually had an idea halfway through this. So the biggest problem with Splashdown right now is you jump up, you splash down, specifically with Blaster, and then before they can get away, you can indirect them and it'll kill them. What if they increase the amount of time where, okay, you jump up in the air, you splash down onto the ground, and then you have like, I don't know, you have like a quarter of a second before you can do anything. As it is right now, you have like a quarter to 1/16 ish to a quarter of a second where you can't do anything. You can't shoot your weapon, you can't move, you can't do anything. What if they increase that to like half a second? So like you splash down someone, and then they have a decent amount of time to get away before you can just mindlessly uh, indirect them. Like, would that work?
Maybe.
It would make it.
But I mean, I guess it would leave the user extremely exposed because they can't do anything for half a second. And there are a lot of weapons that kill in less than half a second.
Yes, actually, I believe every weapon kills in less than half a second, except Dynamo, and charges, which require that like charge. But that's beside the point. No, but like you were talking about getting rushed down after you splash down because you're vulnerable. But isn't that not the point of splashdown? Is to not get rushed down? Like you splash down and you have the huge radius. Like doesn't that kind of stop people from rushing you down? Because if they were, they'd be dead, and if they weren't, they would still have to ink all that turf all the way back up to you to kill you. I don't know. It's a novel idea, I guess.
Sounds decent.
Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. What other specials are there in this game? 10 missiles. I think they're fine. I don't know.
They don't need anything.
I don't think.
They're good enough as they are.
Inkjet. I don't know. I feel like Inkjet might be just a little too weak now, honestly.
Slightly.
I think the main problem with Inkjet now is that they nerfed the damage from indirects. Like before you got an indirect, it was almost always 50 damage, so you could like hit someone with 2 indirects and kill like a blaster. Except of course it shot a lot slower than a blaster. But now it has like a 50-50 chance between being 50 damage and 30 damage, which brings it from a 2-shot indirect to a 4-shot, which is a ridiculous amount. So I think they might need to buff that up a little bit to like, I don't know, 45 maybe. because then you get 245. You get three shots with a 45. So yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, there was another nerf I forgot about, which is really interesting for the inkjet, where your hitbox when using the inkjet used to be just exactly the same size as it was when you were using your main weapon, but now it's a lot bigger. So you don't actually have to be perfectly direct when you're getting, or people don't have to be perfectly aimed onto you when shooting you now to actually hit you, which I think wasn't really necessary.
Whoa.
Wait, you not know?
Why would anyone do
Uh-oh.
that? What?
What?
What happened?
What?
I said uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, why did you say that?
Is because you were about to go into a rant.
Ooh, why would anyone do that? That's completely stupid. Why not make hitbox what it should be?
I don't know. So, what other specials are in this game? Inkstorm is fine. Stingray might be a bit OP now. I don't I don't know. Maybe a little
No, it's
bit.
not.
I think it
It's
might be.
not.
I think it might be,
No.
honestly, a little bit.
Okay, calm down.
I think it
I
is.
think it's. Who cares what you think?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. In all seriousness, Stingray might not be OP because despite its large hitbox, it's still pretty exposed. Like, unless you're sitting in spawn using it, which is what a lot of people do, you're pretty exposed.
Yes, this is true. But you see, the problem is that Stingray has infinite range. So you jump back to your spawn, or, not exactly your spawn. You go to your side of the map where you know it's 100% safe, and you use it, and it's like a mega death laser ray. Uh-oh, we're all screwed. Pretty much on the enemy team if they're like gamer advanced or whatever and aren't Stingray masters. Um, so basically, you're kind of protected if you use it correctly. You're kind of protected when using Stingray to some extent. I mean, not really, but I do see what you're getting at. But now, since they buffed actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Uh, so they had the big blast radius buff, or not blast radius, but like diameter. You know what I'm talking about. The laser diameter is a lot bigger now. So now that they've done that, it's a lot harder for people to rush you down because now you have essentially you have a giant bomb that's constantly exploding in front of your face, and so even though you turn slowly, as long as that huge hitbox is in front of your face, people who rush you down will immediately just not immediately, but they'll die fairly quickly. I think the best plan of action, that's not the correct term. The best idea I have at least is to uh make it get like bigger as it goes along. So at the start of your the very tip of your little laser shooting thing, have it really really thin, like as thin as it was in 1.0, and then as it gets farther along, widen it. So like at the very end of your range, you have the big one, like 1.3, and at the very start, you have 1.0 range or radius, basically. That would allow you to actually get rushed down. Because right now, I don't know. I've saved myself. I've gotten many trades. It's pretty much like always a trade if someone rushes me down, because usually I can see them and turn fast enough to deal enough damage to get a trade with the huge blast radius. So, I don't know. Just my thoughts.
Very interesting thoughts.
Hmm. Now, that's all special talk. Now let's talk about the main weapons themselves. Yippee! Let's start.
Ooh.
I think we should start with everyone's favorite. Dear Nintendo, why did you not increase Jet Squelcher shot velocity? I told you last time.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you again. You pull the trigger and it takes. You're like you pull out your watch. You eat a sandwich. You go to the bar. You buy yourself a drink. You come back home and the thing's still halfway in the air. Like it takes so flipping long to shoot a guy with a jet because of how low the velocity is per shot. It's like, what? Why did you not fix this, Nintendo? Why? How can you do such?
Actually, the velocity can actually be measured since you have a distance and time. So,
It already has been measured. I have an exact frame. I have
oh
exact
really?
frame data of velocity. Yeah, somewhere in
All
here.
right, tell me. I'm curious.
Let me find it. You guys talk about stuff while I try and find this.
Okay. Mm. What are your thoughts, Speedy? You've been way too quiet.
I don't know. All right,
So
thoughts.
scared.
I feel like Splatoon 2 needs a lot more balance. Wait, no, balancing. Well, I know it's early in like the release, but it needs a lot more balancing, and I hope that's what it is in the future. And yeah,
Okay, here we have travel frames for Splattershot. 7 frames of travel. For Splat Charger, 5 frames per travel. For what is this thing? For Splattershot Pro, 8, and for Jet Squelcher, 10. Like what? What? Why? Why did you do that? You don't think it would be
oh my gosh.
noticeable adding 2 frames on to like? But it is. I don't know. I cannot. You have to. You have to be a mathematician. Okay. You have to be like a top level physicist to plan the precise trajectory of your bullets from the tip of your gun to the end of your range at the precise angle at which your opponent will run into them. Like, what? You shouldn't have to do that, Nintendo. Please make it faster. At least down to 8, which was Splattershot Pro, shot velocity. Someone's eating candy. Uh,
Might be me.
so, yeah, that's my first complaint. Second complaint, Jet doesn't have enough flipping range. I mean, in the first game it did, but in this game it doesn't, because the Rapid Blaster Pro has nearly the same range, but also has a giant blast radius, so it's effectively a better Jet Squelcher. And it has a similar kit. Um, Increase the range, please, Nintendo. Not up to that of the
Wait,
Charger, but like somewhere in between. Like not very much, like 5% range increase, not a large amount, but.
yeah, yeah. See, I was about to say, I was like,
No, I want a
wait,
70% range
more.
increase. I want Jet to have longer range than E-Liter. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so
Kill
broken.
me now.
So yeah,
Like,
those are my
okay,
those are my complaints for the day.
Do I have a complaint? Um, not any useful ones.
I could start my Splatbrella rant right now if you wanted.
oh gosh, no.
Oh no,
I,
no, 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 no.
I
No, let me do it.
no, I created the rant. I'm the one that pioneered the
Fine,
rant. I'm
fine.
doing it.
Rant,
Well,
rant.
no, you guys
Go.
have to say something first because it's gonna take years for me to finish this rant, so I don't want to
Okay.
kill you guys.
I'll kind of do a mini rant on why chargers aren't terrible.
Okay. Here
To
we
all
go.
you charger maids out there, what the heck, you guys? If you think chargers are bad now,
Wait,
you are
wait,
just
wait, hang on,
plain.
hang on. Tell not specifically to all your charger mains, but specifically to Resbit, Mr. Salty.
Oh my
Stop
gosh.
being salty, please. Okay, go on.
Alright, so chargers are not bad in this game. Sure, they're worse than they were in the first game, but they're not bad. Okay,
Is that it?
you got charge hold on unscoped chargers. That's really useful. Even if it is only 1.5 for Splat Charger. But then you look at GooTuber's got like freaking 10 seconds of charge hold, even though it's easily one of the worst chargers in the game.
I believe GoTuber has like 6 seconds, but whatever.
6, 10, it's all the same.
I don't care.
Anyways. So, the Chargers have always been able to do something that no other weapon class, with the exception of blasters, can do. And that is to kill someone from a rather long range without them ever being noticed. And I guess blasters don't really fit this requirement because the
Well,
ones that
range
can one
blaster
shot
does.
have.
Range
I'm
blaster
sorry,
does to some
range
extent.
blaster.
I mean, kinda.
But
Range
only
blaster
if
has a
you
decent,
have.
but
But only if you have, like, good aim. But you also need good aim for chargers, so. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, you can charge up your shot behind, like, one of those little inflatable things. Yeah. Dive into the ink with your little charge hold, you pop out, and you shoot someone. If you're a good shot, the shot will be a success.
hmm The main thing with
Hmm.
Charger, especially in this game, is that it's the only weapon that can kill you at the longest range possible without you ever noticing their existence. Because, like, say you have a Hydra Splatling or a Jet Squelcher or anything else, basically. It doesn't kill in one shot, and it's not instantaneous. It's not like, boom, you're sniped. You know, it's like, boom, 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 now you're dead. You can see the shots flying towards you. I mean, with a jet, you can go to the store in the time it takes for the shots to go towards you. But that's beside the point. Um, uh, you can see the shots coming towards you with all the other weapons, but with chargers, if they're good at snapping snipes, you can't see anything. So yeah, there's that. Uh, yeah,
True.
that's my input for the day.
Is there anything else I'm missing here?
I don't think so.
Alright.
Now,
Well, I'm running out of candy, so this is kind of depressing.
that's too bad. Before I start my Brella rant, let's talk about the Flings-a-Roller, shall we? Yes, we shall. Flings-a-Roller is one
Okay.
of the worst weapons in this game, 100%, because, you say, but Salamander, how could it be the worst? It can fight at dynamo range with the vertical flick, and it can fight at roller range with the horizontal flick. But the real thing is, like, the reality of that is, it can't fight at either of those ranges. I mean, I guess it technically can, but it can't do it. It's probably the least effective at doing that, just out of every single weapon, because you have the dynamo part, the part with the really long range, which is the vertical flick. That does 40 damage per shot, unless you're really close. That means it's going to take 3 shots three vertical flicks, which to hit someone at long range to kill them. What's the problem in that, you ask? Well, the vertical flick on the Flings Roller takes like a second and a half. Like, you have to charge up your flick. Like, you have to, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. You have to charge it up. You fling it, and then you have like a cooldown of, 10 frames or whatever. So that takes at minimum like 3 seconds to kill someone, which is an atrocious kill time, seeing as most of the weapons in this game kill within 30 frames, which is half a second. But then you say, oh, but fight with it at close range like the normal roller. But then the problem with that is it's similar to the normal roller. It has this it kills the same speed, but they decrease the range by a ton. It's like with carbon range on vertical flick with the startup time and cooldown of the normal roller. So it's bad at fighting close range compared to other rollers. It's bad at fighting long range compared to other rollers, and its kit, Splash Wall and Bomb Rush, is horrible because rollers can't make use of splash walls. Any objection?
I guess the only good part about that weapon is Splat Bomb Rush,
Yeah,
but
but then
that's really
if you want Splat Bomb Rush though, you just go to Rapid, which is an insane weapon, actually. So
true.
it's like,
It literally does everything that the Flings Roller does better.
yeah, it has the same
Kills
range. It kills
faster.
quickly at that range, and it has the potential to be a one shot, and it's rapid fire. So I mean, it's like,
Yep. No damage up required, one shot.
yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
So what else do I want to talk about? Heavy Deco. Heavy Deco's annoying. I hate it. Moving on.
Wait.
Just that's it. That's it. Come on, man. You gotta elaborate.
Wait. Oh. What is the heavy Dagos kit?
Splash Wall
Let me.
Bubble Blower.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I do not like I don't like using the bubble blower, and I don't like fighting it because they're just annoying. They're less of like an actual useful special and more of just like, here's a couple of blobs we put on your screen to conveniently annoy you right when your enemy's pushing the objective. Stop this. And then occasionally you'll get like the heavy deco that's super committed to blowing up those bubbles. He'll just sit on the tower for like 30 seconds, constantly charging up a shot, just shooting crap. And the bubbles like going up and down and up and down. And you have like since the heavy shoots so fast, you have like three of your teammates trying to not get blown up by this bubble, shooting it at the same time. Like, how are you supposed to push then? You've only got one dude. How are you supposed to defend the tower with one dude when all the rest of them are occupied by the stupid bubbles? Ah! It's annoying. And it does splash wall, which is literally my worst nightmare because 90% of the time I'll miss a shot or two with a jet. And of course, once you miss a shot with a jet, you're screwed. Since they take so long and the kill time is so slow, his splash wall will already be up and running by that time. And since he has the same range, which by the way, this is why I wanted Jet to have more range, get a range buff. Since he has more range, or not more range, the same amount, he'll just charge up and shoot me. Like, pain, suffering, cry, all of these. So yeah,
Yes.
there's that. Anything else? Dually Squelchers. Dually Squelchers are okay.
They're better than Pro.
I wouldn't say so. I don't know. They're just so inaccurate for long range weapons that it's kind of unacceptable in my opinion. Like,
I don't know.
unless you dodge roll to get that single crosshair, in which you're essentially a turret and you're immobile and you're a huge target. I don't know.
And you use up a lot of ink.
Not too much. That's like
You're
nothing compared
still
to
using
Pro.
it.
Dude, Pro and 96 use up so much ink and are so slow. Like in terms of movement speed while shooting. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about 96 because it honestly makes me mad just thinking about me trying to play with it. Just because of how slow it is. No, but
Okay.
seriously though, I can get more accurate long range shots with a 96 than I can with dually squelchers. Just because they have two crosshairs, the accuracy just down the drain. And it's mad. It's maddening. I will say that the kit is good though. Tender missile and point sensor is good for a support weapon, which it is a support weapon. But then again, if you wanted to run a support weapon, why wouldn't you run a jet? Case closed. Yep. Anything like that for you guys? I'm just trying to.
Mm.
I'm just trying to uh, stall as much time as possible before the inevitable umbrella rant occurs.
Mm. Okay. The dually squelchers specifically. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Mm. I have to agree with you on that, but then when you get to like the regular dualies, the regular solid splat dualies, it increased the decreased accuracy. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because you're already going to be at close range where everyone is moving at Sonic speed right in front of you. So actually having less accuracy is more useful, as you won't have to actually track your targets, just aim in a general direction, and you'll most likely kill them. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we see the Octobrush work so well. Heavy breathing, agonize. Octobrush got a huge buff. Now it does tons of damage, kills super fast, and it has quite a bit more range than it used to. So,
As an Octobrush main, I noticed all of these things and
yeah,
quickly took advantage of them.
yeah, it's very maddening. I personally didn't think Octobrush needed to be buffed at all because just like seeing Silver play an Octobrush, like no, do not buff, please.
Yeah, like the Octobrush would be way too overpowered if it was buffed more.
Yeah. If anything, they should just nerf the range back to how it was. I'm fine with the damage because there's no more damage up, but just nerf the range.
Rest in peace, damage up.
No,
Dude,
put an
damage
X
up
damage up.
damage up only really worked in my opinion on chargers, specifically splat chargers and e-liters.
Mm-hmm.
Blasters? Question mark.
Blasters in some
What?
cases.
Why?
But why? To increase the damage, especially okay, in the very early days of Sploon 1, it was possible with enough damage up stacked to to one shot kill someone without getting a direct with a blaster.
Yes, I remember
You don't.
being told about that.
Okay. Now, afterwards, you still stacked it because you get like a rapid blaster. You would stack damage up because if you got a direct with a rapid blaster with 3 mains 9 subs damage, you would do 99.9 damage. That means they step in ink for even a single frame, they're dead. You could essentially get one shots with blasters that were designed for 2-shot kills. Or you could increase the blast effective. You could essentially increase the effective blast radius of the other blasters, where, like, say Luna, for example, you would do 50 damage normally for an indirect, but you stack some damage up, you do like 85 per indirect, which means it's just so much easier to take them out now because you don't have to be as accurate because you could still get that 50 from the very edge of the chip and it would still take them out. So, and your teammates could easily abuse that as well. Just like one-shotting someone with an uncharged charger shot because they took so much from a damage up blaster. Getting squished by an ink brush. That one is really salt inducing.
Hmm.
many of these things. So are you prepared? Are you ready for the rant?
I've already heard this rant, so I'm just gonna prepare for the worst.
Okay. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Let's see. The Splabbrella, the Tenebrella. What do I have to say? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they mediocre? No, they're none of these. The Splatbrella and the Tenebrella are the single worst weapons in this game. And the reason for that is because everything the Brella does is horrible. And what I mean by that is the Brella isn't good at killing, isn't good at painting, isn't good at defense, offense, isn't good at support. It's not good at anything. And the reasons for this are, one, it's slow, especially the Tenebrella. It's the slowest thing possible. Number two, the damage at the very end, not the very end, but like at the later parts of your range using Brella, the damage is all RNG pretty much. Like not all, but there's a range of RNG. So that can go from getting a 2-shot at kissing range by doing 90 damage to possibly a 5 to 6 shot at splatter shot range, which is its maximum range, which is ridiculous, seeing as how slow it actually moves and shoots. The time it takes you to pull the trigger, meaning that the time it takes, or hang on, let me rephrase this. The time it takes you to pull up the Brella, shoot, and then fully extend your shield is longer than the kill time of every single weapon in the game, with the exception of the Dynamo and the Rapid Blasters. So there goes your shield, essentially, because unless you preemptively open your shield, which is just kind of stupid if you think about it, because like you open your shield too early and it's going to shoot off on you and it's going to be useless. Unless you preemptively open your shield, you get one shot on someone and they're just going to turn around and shoot you, and you're done. You're dead. Like there's no chance for you. It just takes so long for the actual shield to extend from the shot. Another thing is that, okay, say you're in a fight. You're a Brella. You're fighting a Tenatech. You have your shield up somehow by some miracle. You're defending with your shield. You have two options. Either A, you hold your shield up and continue defending, or B, you pull your shield down and try and get a shot or two off on the Tenatech. Here's the problem. You keep your shield up you hold your shield up to keep defending, and the Tenatech's just going to break your shield and kill you. You release it to shoot. It takes so long for it to extend up again. He's just going to do the same thing. He's just going to shoot you. Once you pull out your shield, you've locked yourself in a corner, basically. You've trapped yourself in a corner, and you can do nothing about it. You are going to die, unless you somehow get a terrain advantage, which is highly unlikely. Another thing is, the Brella will get not only absolutely destroyed in the way I just mentioned by pretty much everything, but it will also get destroyed much easier by blasters and sloshers, as they can just shoot over or around the shield, making it useless. Let's see what else. Chargers, you could think, oh yeah, the shield defend against chargers. No, that doesn't work, because as soon as a charger sees you, they're going to charge up, you're going to pull out your shield, and then what are you going to do? You hold it up there for too long, it's going to release and it's going to shoot out. The charger's going to shoot your shield and it's going to blow up. What do you do now? You're screwed. The charger's going to shoot you again. You know, the only time it will work against chargers is if you are on the tower and the tower is moving you, so you can remain immobilized on the tower with your shield up for a decent amount of time. That's the only way you can protect yourself from chargers with Brella. Okay, my rant's over. I have to go pee. I don't know. Discuss. I'll be back. No, water bottle, come back. Oh, okay. I guess
Okay.
I guess not.
I mean,
I'll be back. Give me a minute.
I'm playing Sploon.
Dude, you are?
Yeah, bro.
I'm attempting to charge my phone on a dysfunctional charger cord. Oh my god. Oh, this is so cringe. What the actual heck phone? Whatever. Let's talk about something Sploon related. The Rainmaker. Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
In Splatoon 1, it was pretty broken. I'm gonna be honest. Like a freaking giant. Okay, if you took the hitbox of the dynamo, the range of the E-liter, I guess the charge time sort of too, and the damage and path of the Inkzooka, that's what you got.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in Splatoon 2, if you took a charger, gave it lots of range, but gave the shot weight so that it fell back down to Earth, that's what it would become. And in a way, both weapons are broken in their own special way. In Splatoon 1, it was because its hitbox was so abnormally large and so unpredictable, especially when someone's internet was starting to go on the frizz. And then in Splatoon 2, the Rainmaker's broken is because it can protect itself better. And if you're a good enough user, you can at the very, very least get a trade with someone who rushes you down. And it's also good at protecting yourself around corners.
Oh. Good lesson put the. There we go.
Okay, I'm back. What were you talking about?
We were talking about Rainmaker Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2.
Oh, okay.
I explained the advantages of both, how they both functioned, etc., etc.
Okay.
I'm playing Splatoon right now.
Ooh, what are you doing?
That's nice, honey.
I'm
I'm playing
eating
ranked.
animal crackers right now.
Oh, snap the crack.
Wait, which Sploon?
Splatoon 2, though.
Oh, good.
Yeah, why would you even go back to play Sploon 1? Sploon 2 is such an improvement in every single way.
True.
As much as Resbit doesn't like to admit it, it's true.
Roasted.
Right. Rollers got really, really good. I love using.
But then you got me, the person who's like, oh, I might get second or third at best in this little roller expedition, ends up going undefeated.
Oh yeah.
And I highly believe that part of the reason was because of random RNG.
Yes, there was a roller tournament. Of course, there was a bunch of random RNG. That's how rollers work. Using a roller, especially something like a dynamo roller, is like using Mr. Game & Watch in a competitive Smash tournament. And just constantly spamming the B button to try and get a 9.
Wait, did you just say competitive and Smash in the same sentence without the words is not between them?
Yeah.
Get out. But Smash isn't competitive. There, said it. Don't need to say it again. Don't need to hear that. We're not talking about Smash right now.
So yeah,
Anyways, back
Yeah.
to some random Splatoon topic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I'm not triggered. They always say it. It's like that.
you know
That's not true, but I don't care.
at least I only say it to trigger you. I don't know. Fish might actually believe it. I don't
Ooh, like, like, Smash is not competitive. That is very debatable.
Smash 4 isn't competitive. Smash Brawl isn't competitive.
Wait, Smash Ball's competitive, bro.
You didn't say Brawl was
No, it's
competitive?
not
UFC's
competitive.
Meta Knight.
I said not. I said not.
What? Oh, sure.
Dude,
Oh
I
my.
said not.
All right.
Smash Brawl is so not competitive. Smash N64 isn't competitive. Of all the Smash Bros. Games, Melee is the competitive. I will admit
Talking about
that.
Smash. Speaking of talking,
Because someone.
let's not talk.
Ooh.
It's time to go. This has been long enough.
What?
And obviously we're just rambling about our spec. Just rambling on about random things, so.
We've run out of ideas. This is what happens every time.
You know what?
Much, yeah.
Never
Let's
forget.
talk about your favorite weapon and why you like it.
Okay,
Ooh.
I'll go first. My favorite weapon is the Jet Sculpture, and I like it because I outrange everything else.
Oh,
There you go.
Hey,
perfect.
can I elaborate upon that?
Sure.
You made the Jet Squelcher before your first online match in
Yes, this
Splatoon
is
1.
true. I've been maining Jet Sculpture since before the internet even existed.
Oh. No, you just played in Battle Dojo. Which was about as exciting as watching an old man bathe, in my opinion.
What?
Anyways, I'll go next. I don't have a favorite weapon. I main them
Yeah.
all. I can't choose a favorite. But if I had to, if I was absolutely forced to only play one weapon for the rest of eternity, it would have to be the Octobrush.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's good.
Yeah.
You're right, I am. Speedy, you're up.
Favorite weapon has to be Blaster. Since
I didn't see that coming.
Oh my gosh, you like never seen it coming. It was so random.
Yeah,
So
But yeah,
unpredictable.
crazy.
but yeah, Blasters because I like its range. I like how I can just two-shot people just even at corners. So I still get them pretty.
Yeah.
And plus the kit though.
Oh yeah, that
That
kit.
Oh my gosh. If we lose the over,
Ooh. Hey, did you
how?
watch that video on why teams sometimes lose in overtime by FLC?
By FLC, our Lord and Savior. You better
Oh
watch
my
everything
gosh.
ever created by FLC, because if not, you're not a loyal slave.
Well,
FLC,
Ooh.
you better be paying my bills this month, FLC. Uh,
oh my.
I just saved your entire career.
What is this, communism in the Soviet Union?
No, this is
What if
talking
Better
someone
not
else's
be.
crap in your video.
what if
My
FLC actually sees this?
He's probably gonna
dude,
just
that'd
end
be.
us. He'd be like, "Look at
You'd
these
probably just like,
kids."
you're a bunch of losers.
No, he would talk like this. You guys are a bunch of losers, and I think you're trash. I am FLC,
That's
and team call.
Y'all, y'all
Oh wait,
are a
no, I have
bunch of
one.
young teenagers that like
However,
don't know anything.
we're sorry, Lord FLC. We shall
Oh
repay
my.
you. So anyway, I'm gonna stop the stream right here. So
Oh,
and 3, 2, 1, goodbye.
goodbye.